Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on the final day of Wild Eye Week, and I decided to close with a masterpiece. This is my review of Cat Sick Blues. Cat Sick Blues is a 2015 horror film directed by Dave Jackson. This DVD was distributed by Wild Eye Releasing under their Wild Eye Raw and Extreme line, and this is a raw and extreme masterpiece. A man named Ted is stricken with grief when his childhood cat dies. His cat's name was Patrick, and he keeps his lifeless body in the freezer. Ted is pretty much obsessed with all things cat-related, even the porn he watches. He even struggles to exhibit cat-like behavior himself. He's obviously lost his mind after the loss of his pet. Ted believes, though, he can resurrect Patrick by taking 9 lives. And so, wearing a black cat mask and custom-made clawed gloves, he begins a vicious killing spree. Ted also wears another custom appendage, but I'll leave that one up to your imagination. Whatever you're thinking it is, it's probably worse. After killing each victim, Ted collects their blood in a jar. Meanwhile, a woman named Claire owns a cat who is an internet sensation. But when a crazed fan tracks her down, Claire ends up raped in her own apartment, and her cat ends up dead. Claire's camera, which was left on, recorded the whole thing. Now, like her cat videos, which got millions and millions of views, Claire's rape video goes viral. Ted comes across it online and becomes intrigued with Claire. He ends up tracking her down as well and follows her to a pet grief relief group. There, pet owners come together to discuss the grief they feel after the loss of their pets. Ted shares his story about Patrick's death, and Claire shares hers. The two chat after the meeting and decide to go get something to eat. They then go back to Ted's place and, well, you know what they do. After seeing certain things in Ted's apartment, like the framed photograph of Patrick above the mantel, and even the cat mask on a lamp, Claire begins to suspect that Ted is the killer she's been hearing about on the news. But it may be too late to stop him, because with each victim, he's getting closer to 9. Cat Sick Blues is one of those movies everyone should know about. Whether they choose to see it or not, they should at least be curious, or know what it is. There are so many movies out there that sort of live in infamy, like a Serbian film. But Cat Sick Blues is better. It's not just a good slasher film, or horror movie, or Wild Eye film. It's a great movie overall. Forget great. This is a genuinely phenomenal movie. It's quality filmmaking in every meaning of the phrase. I would say the acting is borderline brilliant, especially from Matthew C. Vaughn, who plays Ted. The guy deserves an award for his performance in this. He makes legitimately creepy cat sounds when he's exhibiting that feline behavior. I also really liked Cheyenne Denovan, who played Claire. We get some nice nudity from her, which is very generous. The practical gore effects are top-notch. This movie is sick in the best way possible. I love the song playing in the hostel massacre scene. My God, I love this movie. The characters are very well developed, as is the storyline. This isn't just a typical throwaway slasher. Cat Sick Blues is so much deeper than that. In fact, it's deeply sad in a way, especially the final scene. And speaking of the ending, at one point, it goes off the friggin' rails, and it's amazing. I honestly cannot praise and recommend this movie enough. It's one of those films you watch and get a high from watching it. It proves there is still talent out there and hope for modern-day horror. It's quite possibly one of, if not the best film Wild Eye has ever released. Cat Sick Blues deserves way, way more attention, and I was sorry to see it end. The same way I'm sorry to see Wild Eye Week end once again. But I'm sure we'll be doing it again next year, likely more than once. Until then, though, you can check out a new Wild Eye review from me just about every Wednesday. Have you seen Cat Sick Blues? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me on Wild Eye Week. I hope you've enjoyed my reviews. I want to thank Wild Eye once again for sending me this DVD, along with others, and giving us the opportunity to review their films, like this masterpiece, Cat Sick Blues. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.